To all my friends from high school, I wonder how you're doing now. Did your life give you what you wanted? Or is there more story to tell? Did you shake the dust from this little town off? Or do your roots run too deep? No matter what life has dealt you, enjoy the fruits that you reap. There's a time to dance, there's a time to cry, there's a time to spread your wings and fly. There's a time to laugh, there's a time to mourn, there's a time to be reborn. Life is quick, life is fast. Live each day like it's your last. That's a lesson I learned a few years ago. When you're young, you think you know all there is to know. There's a time to dance, there's a time to cry, there's a time to spread your wings and fly. There's a time to laugh, there's a time to mourn, there's a time to be reborn. Life can be so hard at times, so damn cruel. No matter what you got going, remember that golden rule. In life you get one shot, so give it all you got. If you don't try, you won't know. Start today and reap what you sow. There's a time to dance, there's a time to cry, there's a time to spread your wings and fly. There's a time to laugh, ooh, there's a time to mourn, there's a time to be reborn. There's a time to dance, there's a time to cry, there's a time to spread your wings and fly. There's a time to laugh, there's a time to mourn, there's a time to be reborn. Hey, how's it going, folks? How's everybody doing this evening? It's time for Dan Redbeard's Keystone Mania stream. Man, oh man. Oh, I had a few. Enjoyed the weekend there. I'm gonna say hi to everybody here. We got Nickel G Racing. We got Sean Doherty. Welcome, Mr. Doherty. That's how I pronounce it here anyway. We've got G3 Mini, who's always up in this hood. I'm so happy to have G3 Mini join. That's how we know what's up with thanks, Miss Brandy D. How are you not an admin? How did that happen? Let's get that fixed. Oh my gosh. Or a moderator, as you guys call it. Sorry. How's everyone doing? Did everyone have a good turkey day? See their family? Have any gigantic arguments, or did everybody get along? Things are changing, folks. I think we can feel it. We can feel it in the air. We can, there's a big change coming. I think we're going to go back to normalcy again. We're going to have some positive change in the United States and in the world, really. Welcome to Adrienne as well. I'm not too familiar with Adrienne. Only time I ever think of Adrienne is when I think of Rocky and Adrienne. So it's like the mental connection there. Anyway, welcome all. What am I doing tonight? I'm just bullshitting. No, this is no major information update. This is no exposure stream. This is just me chilling. I'm working on some stuff.
regarding you know who. Have some interesting stuff that's come out, but I'm not ready to premiere it because I need to edit, I need to record, and I need to get things settled down. But there's some definitely some interesting things happening in that regard. Oh my, oh my, oh my. So everyone's off work today. Who had to work? Let me hear you. Okay, I want to find some music here real quick. I need to hear some music. So Goose Man has blown me away with this new album. I'm just shocked at how good these songs are and how good the production is. And that's the link that I have up on my well, the comment that I'm showing now that I made. He is just, blowing it out of the park. I mean, it's really important for y'all to know that this does not happen every day, right? This is a really I feel like people aren't understanding how good this songwriting is at Goose's. And I'm not trying to like blow smoke up Goose's ass. I genuinely think these are great songs that he's made. It's a great album. And keep in mind he produced this on his MacBook. Okay. It sounds the quality there. It sounds almost like something that come out of a high-end studio in Nashville. So these are some great songs, and I really think that people should listen to them and enjoy them. That's just my personal opinion. I think it would be a tragedy that if these songs weren't heard by everyone, which is I know it's a big thing, but there's a lot of music out there that gets heard by everyone that isn't nearly as good as Goose is here. His effort is just amazing. Like if it was not good, I'd tell him. I wouldn't blast him, but I'd say, hey, listen, man, this needs work. But there's nothing here that needs work. Like it's just a really well made album. And I hope that checks in the mail, Goose, because no, but seriously, like it's amazing. I really am enjoying it. Um, I'm blown away. I have a hard time like seeing that output come from Goose. As a musician, you're constantly trying to make great music. You're trying to make great art. And he has just captured lightning in a bottle here. And keep in mind, it was mainly made by him. These songs were written by him, but he's also produced this album. He's engineered it all in his MacBook. This blows me away of like just how good it is because you hear a lot of stuff that's like MacBook made. It's like not that great. And this is just really good. So anyway, that's my personal opinion. It's amazing. Hey, Exit Velocity, welcome. Good afternoon. What time is it where you are? Go ahead and throw in the chat there what time it is where you are. Where I'm at right now, it's nearly 8 p.m. 8 p.m. I just finished an early gig, and let's just say the bartender was a little liberal. So with his doses, I'm feeling pretty good. Here's a great track I'm gonna play right now. I'm gonna shut up and play some more music.
I was holding my breath when the tightrope walker slipped into the moon glow, saying, all my children, follow me. Maybe it's time to go. You can be chrome when you're white, you can be wise when you're blue. And baby, if I had, then I have for you. Bribing the jury to keep me in jail, singing tea for the tiller man. And although I lie fantastically, I swore an oath in my history. It's a miracle I can see. You can be wrong when you're right, even when you're right on cue. And if I die tonight, then I die for you. Calling on those that call me son, great grandson or grandson, great uncles, aunts, and relatives to judge what I have done. gonna make it right by you, even if it's all I do. And if it's all I do, then I do it for you. People will raise a whole lot of hell about the water in the windmill. And although I step chaotically, hurts no one but me. Even the darkest has on, but they ain't got you. Baby, I have it, and I have you too. And I lied in the window to pass the night through. Maybe so uncertain, what can I do? Keeping it on, keeping it on. And I know I like it, but what's that? Sometimes I worry I don't know how to love you. I bring to you with reverent hands all the books that my love abides. Kind woman that my passion wore, like the shoreline wears the tides. Maybe the water went dry, keeping an eye on you. And with an eye on you, you can drown me too. But people will raise a whole lot of hell about the water and the windmill. And although I stab chaotically, swore an oath in my history, it's a miracle I can see. Even the darkness has arms, but they ain't got you. Baby, I have it, and I have you too. And I lied in the window to pass the night through. Maybe so uncertain, well, what can I do? Keeping it on, keeping it on. Man, I know I like it, but what's that? Sometimes I worry I don't know how to love you.
Yo, that's the Bar Brothers. I like them a lot. I think they're fantastic. They have a couple of really just amazing songs. More than that, really, but yeah, I enjoy the Bar Brothers. They're really good. So, okay, how many people we got here? Got 10 in here. Well, if you've come for drama, I do apologize. I have no significant updates to provide, but there's stuff in the oven. There's stuff that's cooking. I guess my thoughts on all this stuff that's going on in our little community here comes from two different points of view. One, what does it matter at the grand scheme of things? Triple T likes clout and she-mails. Does it really affect me? No. But I'm really tired of fake fuckers. I'm really tired of people lying on here and pulling in all this bullshit and trying to put one over on people that I consider are my friends. You guys are my friends. You're my internet friends. No, we haven't met. Most of us haven't met in person, but you're definitely my internet friends. And I don't like you being lied to. And I don't like fake fuckers. So, like, Triple T has said, oh, he's trying to get clout, he's trying to get followers. I really don't care about that. First of all, I don't know if any of you guys, have YouTube channels. Some of you do, some of you don't, where you put out content and stuff. Know that this YouTube game, there's huge money in it if you're popular, if you've got millions of views, if you've got a channel, okay, that has amazing content. That's not this channel. This channel is just Dan Redbeard talking and chilling. Okay. This isn't like a money making thing. This channel isn't even monetized. Okay. So anything that I share on here, it's stuff that I'm genuinely interested in or something I think you genuinely need to be aware of. I could care less about clout. I really could. Right. I wouldn't say my golden years by any means, but I'm towards the latter half of my life. I've accomplished a lot of things that I wanted to accomplish, as a man, as a father, etc. So what I'm doing on here really is just sharing things that I care about, not just in the community, but in general in life and politics, and news, etc. But mainly, it's just my connection with you, the people that subscribe to me, my internet friends. That's what this is about. There is no clout chase. I don't care to make anyone out there to gain some sort of clout or internet points with anybody. Like, I like Ryan Upchurch's music, but I mean, I'm not trying to get his attention. I've never made videos for Ryan Upchurch, or I haven't even really even commented much on his music. Right? That's not really what it's about for me. So that whole thing of, oh, the reason that Dan Redbeard is exposing me and telling me all this stuff is because he wants clout. It's total bullshit, right? I could care less. There's no money in any of this for me. There's no clout. There's no respect or whatever. I mean, to be honest, exposed to Triple T has brought some heat down on me from people whose opinion I care about, who were like, you know, a lot of people are really thankful. And the majority of people are like, hey, thank you for exposing this and talking about it. But there's like 10% of people out there that people that were sub to me that don't like that were upset, that I've exposed Triple T for who he is. And that's something I could have done without. But I did it because that's the truth. That's what I care about. That's what motivates me. I hope that you guys understand. Maybe I'm not adequately expressing myself there in that. But hey, Janie AR15, welcome. Thank you. But that's the reason why. That's my motivation. My motivation isn't to clout chase. My motivation is to share what's honest with you guys, to share the truth with you guys. I don't like you being lied to. I don't like you being manipulated. And Triple T, from what I understand, was in psyops, psychological operations. Okay. That is manipulation, mental manipulation at its core. And I don't like seeing that done. Someone had said to me today in a comment, or I can't remember where I read it, whether it was a comment that was made in someone's live or whatnot, but they basically said, this is all Lori and Tim have. Triple T is Tim, by the way, if you don't know. All they have is YouTube. Okay, that is so fucking sad. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like hanging here. I like you people, but like, that can't be it. That can't be all that you have in life, you know? But he's lied to people numerous times, and she's always out there, Lori, always out there cleaning up his messes and things like that. I just kind of got fucking sick of it. I got sick of that bullshit, so I had to call it out. So that's where I'm coming from, personally. Let's take a look here. Someone left a comment. He low sorry, pardon me. He low key doesn't like Upchurch and is fake about it. Is what I don't like about him. I see right through his bullshit. Exactly. So what we have here with this particular gentleman, Triple T, is essentially a different Johnny Gopple. Okay. They went out there begging, looking for senpai to notice them. Okay. They're looking for someone like Ryan, looking specifically for Ryan Upchurch to notice them. Okay. Notice me, senpai. All right. I'll put video after video after you kissing your ass. And if you don't come over here to my channel, or don't get, mention me in some video you do, or mention me in some comment, if I don't get some kind of acknowledgement for what I've done, I'm going to go salty and nasty. And that's exactly what Triple T's done. He was begging for Ryan Upchurch's attention. And when he did it, he went to ACAL instead. ACAL gave him that attention, right? And honestly, that would be any reason he does not like Ryan Upchurch, because he didn't notice him, right? And that's not Ryan Upchurch's job. People, they listen to his music and they feel like they're owed something, right? It's a really weird dichotomy. Honestly, you're owed nothing, right? You got the music and most likely got it for free on YouTube, okay? You've been given a gift and you expect some sort of acknowledgement, or a further supposed to be getting something off this man when he's already given you the gift of this music. I don't get that. And that's exactly where Johnny Gobble comes from, and exactly where fucking Triple T's coming from, really. He wants that acknowledgement. And I think with Triple T, it's different. Whereas Johnny really wants to be acknowledged, by Ryan Upchurch in some really gay way. Triple T, he sees himself as wanting to be some young country rapper or musician. He wants that adulation. He wants that popularity. And the reality is, he's 54 years old. He's not going to get it, right? It's over with. Like, he doesn't have that skill or talent. That's not his lot in life. It's like Martin with his BMX. Like, you're not going to be a BMX biker, Martin. And he's really salty he's not getting it. So instead, he tries to run around with ACAL and get that validation from ACAL. Oh, I'm in his posse. I'm in his group. Like, people forget. But Triple T happily admitted that he went off and essentially Kansas Rebel Man. If you don't know who he is, Kansas Rebel Man is a friend of Ryan Upchurch. He's starting to make music, but he didn't make music at first. He was just a friend of Ryan Upchurch, somebody on the internet, hardly ever made a video, etc. Right? Like, just a chill dude. Okay. And Ryan Upchurch befriended him. He's a fan of Ryan Upchurch's, and Ryan Upchurch befriended him, and they were friends. And he's occasionally made comments or whatever, and he didn't like Triple T, from what I understand. And during this, I believe it was Taylorville, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone in the comments, or Ryan Upchurch had a concert, and in Taylorville, Kansas Rebel Man was inside Walmart. Triple T saw him. Triple T sees Kansas Rebel Man, runs out to ACAL and says, "Hey, ACAL, one of your haters is inside that Walmart." So then ACAL, Triple T, and 3 other people go over there to intimidate Kansas Rebel Man and the woman he was with, who was also a streamer, as I understand it. Real fucking douchebag move, right? So essentially it was 5-on-1, and Ryan Upchurch just talked about that. Okay? Scumbag move. Fucking hate that kind of shit. Grow the fuck up. All right, hold on. Exit Velocity's made some more comments. I'm gonna read them here real quick. Sorry. I'd rather him just say he doesn't like him. Yeah, I agree. I have more respect for him. Thank you. He says you're all on point with this stuff. Thank you. He didn't get to enjoy his life as a young man because of his military service and trying to live it now. At least it seems that way. That's very accurately put, Exit Velocity, very accurately and well put. I think that's exactly what it is. There's a video, when I started digging into Triple T, I found a video where he talked about his family's military service and essentially that he stated, I don't know if it's true or not, but he stated that because I've gotten lots of lies off Triple T. There's been lots of lies off Triple T where he's been caught out. But what he stated was that his family, the men in his family, etc., had, since the Revolutionary War, like before the Civil War, we're talking about America's fight for freedom against Britain in England, etc., said that, Britain is England, but however you want to phrase it. But essentially, he had family members involved in every single conflict, right? If that is true, he probably felt a huge need to join some sort of branch of the military and provide that service. And when his active duty was over in 2007, 36 years old, he wanted to start kind of living his life for himself. And I guess he's latched on to this whole rap thing or whatever. I find it really sad, actually. Like, imagine if I wanted to be a really, really great chef, but I couldn't cook for shit. And believe me, folks, I can't cook for shit. I tried making a curry this evening, and it was god awful, barely edible. I mean, honestly, like, my kid's gonna have PTSD from my fucking cooking. I mean, I just cannot fucking cook. I do my best. Let's just put it that way. But I'm never gonna be a great chef. I just don't have that ability. It's not within my ability. It's not within my gifts that God has given me. Right? It's actually kind of sad that he really wants to be this young guy who's a rapper when he can't rap and he's not young. It doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, so yeah, am I talking shit on Triple T? Yeah, because of the shitty things he's done, right? I've had a lot of people come to me, a lot of people whose channels you watch, who come to me and said, "Yeah, Triple T's a cow. Oh, you're milking him." I'm really not trying to milk him. I'm not trying to like make him my little fucking lol cow, right? He does that for himself when he goes and makes all these fucking live streams about me and he just lies exposed. Like, this is all he fucking has. It's fucking pathetic. I mean, every single one of you subscribe to me right now. Every single one of you. You go off and you have your own lives. You have your family. You have other interests. You have things that you care about. Like you could leave YouTube tomorrow, I'm sure, and you'd be perfectly happy in life. Not Triple T. He needs this. He really fucking needs this. And I'll be honest, it's not something I considered when I decided to expose him, right? Um, what else? People have said to me, "Oh, you made that Gmail account thing." I did not. Honestly, folks, I've never lied to you guys on here. I don't care to lie to you. When I say that, there's no motivation. What would I gain from lying to any of you? Right? There's no clout here. Where he made a big mistake was him and Lori decided to make screenshots to try to prove that I made it in some weird way. Folks, they had to log into the account to make those screenshots. Okay? How are they able to log into that account if they didn't have the credentials? Credentials being the username and password. How would they be able to get into it? How was I supposed to, if I made this account, how was I supposed to use his email to make the account? You have to verify it to make the account, right? Tranny versus CEO. Honestly, I don't care if Triple T likes transsexuals or not. I thought it was funny. Really, what we need to look at here is how he treats the people in his life, how he treats the people that look at his channel, how he treats these people. Okay, hold on here. Let me go ahead and look here. Got some questions. Okay, here. First of all, Exit Velocity says he has a prestigious military career and it's an embarrassment his accomplishments of the way he's currently. I agree. I agree completely. Now, here's the hot take that no one wants to hear. Everybody says, "Oh, thank you for your service. You've kept America free." I don't, first of all, thank you for your service. Thank you to Triple T for his service. But I don't believe that he's kept America free. For example, we have not been invaded. The United States has not been invaded, right? We're not defending America. When you go over the seas to Iraq or Afghanistan, you're not essentially stopping terrorism. What you're doing there, that I'll be honest, folks, that was a war for oil. Oil. It really was. My brother was in the military. My stepsister's in the military. And they were doing it for either college or a paycheck, right? Now, that's not to say that what they did and what they gave from their lives isn't admirable. It absolutely is. But I think we can take it too far. I think we can take it too far when we say something along the lines of, "Oh, I owe my freedom of speech to the current military members." I don't. Now, keep in mind, if it was a situation where we're being fucking invaded and these people go to the front lines, I would go there too. Just because it's my children, like we're on the front lines here, we're being invaded. But that's not the scenario. Very much so, that was a war for oil. And I'm not going to pass judgment on people who volunteered for that or didn't volunteer for that. I'm absolutely not going to do that. But I think we get to the point where we take these people who like Triple T and we put them on a pedestal and we say, "You are this or that because of what you've done or these purple hearts you've gotten. That means you're infallible." Bullshit. That's who he was. That's who he was at a point of time. When he got those purple heart accolades, medals, whatever. He was that was 2007 and before. We're here in 2024 and we're seeing him acting this way. And I agree, it's absolutely ridiculous how he's turned himself into. But someone had said to me in private conversation that him having four purple hearts, excuse me, and his, Bronze Star or whatever, he's one of the most heavily decorated soldiers of his generation. Why is the military not using that as a marketing tool? What about Triple T has them to the point where they're not using him for marketing? Maybe I'm way off base. You can tell me. Okay. Two Sickies. Do you think Lori is aware of Tim's love for Hung Angels, or was it a surprise to her? You know what? Um, the way she came out and just vehemently defended him really reminds me of the phrase, the lady doth protest too much. To me, it seems like it's something that she was aware of beforehand because she went out live. Well, here's the funny thing. I had put out a live where I was just bullshitting, right? And I was talking, with my fans or whatever. And in part of it, I said, oh, by the way, there's someone in this community who has a thing for, transsexuals, male to female transsexuals. I didn't actually say it was Triple T. I inferred and I implied that it was Triple T, but I didn't say it was him. Okay. As soon as I made that inference, Lori was out doing damage control. She specifically said I said it was Triple T. I didn't actually. She connected those two things. She's the person that took those two Lego bricks and clapped them together, not me, which tells me that, yeah, she probably knew. She probably knew on some level, two sickies. Yeah. Or always in someone else's countries. Yeah, I mean, there's an element of that. I mean, that's geopolitical. It's very difficult to get into that conversation. But Two Sickest says, you didn't. I watched that live. Correct. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't say it was Triple T. Like, obviously, I inferred it was him. I was letting people make that assumption themselves. But for her to come right out of the gate, Lori, and like it was like she was something that she was prepared to defend. Okay. And to anyone out there, I'll say it again because we've had a few people join this live stream. We have 23. I need you to put on your thinking cap here. Okay. She's always constantly blaming someone else for their drama. Oh, it was MoCon. Oh, it was this person. Oh, it's Dan Redbeard. Let's keep in mind, right? He's constantly lying. The last lie I heard was when he was going after Uncle Will. He said, someone asked him, where did they find those videos? I'm speaking of which the videos of the Baggers Gone Wild stuff. And he says, I don't know where they found them. And then he goes, I made them. Yeah, I made them, but I don't know where they found them. Very easily, I found those videos and and it was really more of a quality issue than anything else. I'll explain that. I had seen someone had sent me links to Dumb Gene reviewing Iceman's video of Iceman showing these Baggers Gone Wild videos. And I was like, it's too damn meta for me and Uncle Will to essentially be talking about videos that are in someone's reaction to someone's original content. Reacting to a reaction was silly. I wanted the good quality stuff. So I started digging into Triple T, and it wasn't very difficult to find that he had a Twitter page and a Twitter page that he made in 2014, and he hadn't used since 2020. But some of the very first posts, probably say about 10 or 15 deep in, were him actual uploads of those videos. That's where I got the content from, was his own damn Twitter page. And then he deletes his Twitter. After me and Uncle Will did our live, and we went to his Twitter and said, this is where we got the videos, and showed people this is where the videos are. They're on Triple T's, Twitter page. I think someone or them, I don't know who it was trying to blame MoCon. Like MoCon went back to 2014 and made that Twitter page. Give me a fucking break, right? Ridiculous. So it's Triple T's Twitter page that he's since deleted, right? Not that it matters because he made those videos. He admitted to making those videos, and they're creepy as fuck, man. Asking, let's just believe his bullshit and say they're 18. They're all 18. Asking an 18-year-old girl, did that turn you on? It's fucking creepy. Especially when you're someone who's like 43 at the time in 2015. And he asks a lot of this stuff. He's like, show me what you're going to do to this girl. And he has the teenage boy, who I don't believe is 18, simulate sex with a chair. It's all creepy fucking shit. And by the way, of all people, Johnny Gobble said that a friend sent him a link to a .mil military website address where they talk about the Baggers program for summer. And they state, we're opening up this program to children of service members where they can get work experience. And we're accepting ages of 14 to 18 to work as baggers in the various post-exchange grocery stores on campuses. And it was one that was put out from the public affairs office, if you will, from Fort Meade in Maryland, right? So we know for a fact that these baggers programs include people who are under 18 years of age. And when confronted with that, Triple T says they were all 18. And my proof is some girl who was our dog sitter says they were all 18. Bullshit. I'm not buying it. And I'm going to find out if all of those teens were 18 years old or not. Not hard to find out. Freedom of Information Act, right? And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to send all of these videos and a transcript of these videos where we'll see the teenager talking and we'll have it noted where Triple T is talking. And we're going to send that to the military and see what they think of it. See if they think it's all okay. I guarantee you they don't. It's creepy fucking behavior. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's go here. She's in here now. Hi, Gargoyle. Who's that? Who's in here now? Lori or whomever? I could care less. Lori, if you are in here, Lori, let me tell you something. You got to be sick and tired of cleaning up that man's messes. All right. Honestly, honest to God, my opinion of Lori is that she is a devoted wife. She's gone far and beyond what most women would do for their husbands. And that's laudable on one level. On another level, it's like, why are you cleaning up this dude's bullshit? Right? Why are you sitting here running interference and carrying water for this bad behavior? Really, if you want to do damage control, one of the best ways to do damage control is to say, hey, listen, I'm sorry, or admit it, right? Or don't comment. Don't go out there and make 4 lives in one evening. Last Friday, Lori made 4 lives about me. Maybe exact. Lori and Tim made a combination of 4 lives about me. 4 lives for my one. Okay? The lady doth protest too much. Really, honestly. If someone made a video up saying Dan Redbeard's into she-males, I'd laugh. I might even play into it. Just for humor's sake. Come on, folks. Anyway. Sherry says, I believe Lori knows all about the BS Tim's involved in. She's still used to covering up for him. Exactly, Sherry. She absolutely does. And it's really something every month, isn't it? It really is. Right? And to be honest, like my motivation for exposing Triple T for what he is, the she-male stuff, it's funny. It's actually kind of funny, but that's about it. There's nothing illegal about liking she-males. It's kind of fucking weird, but clearly there's a percentage of the male population that likes that shit, I guess. What's creepy to me is how he was acting to the teenagers. And to be honest, if I thought about it, other than just kind of being immature and exposing him for his she-male lust and showing how I did that, if I was mature, I wouldn't even done that. I wouldn't even say anything about that. I would have just focused on him and how he acted towards kids. And that was my thinking. It was just funny. I should have thought it out and should have kept the focus. And I'm still going to keep the focus on those teenagers and how he talked to them. Honestly, his she-male lust or being a member of those, dude, whatever. Okay, they're all adults. It's creepy, right? It's not something I particularly kind of turns my stomach, but whatever. Okay, nothing illegal, but what really matters is how he treated those teens, and it's just a symptom. Like Rusty Truck said to me, and this is an open comment on Rusty Truck's last video thing. He said, I want to get it right here. This isn't me shitting on Rusty Truck by any means. I have a lot of respect for him. He said, I don't believe that harm was the goal of Triple T. And I agree with that particular part. He said, actually said, I don't believe that harm or manipulation was the goal of Triple T when he was interviewing those teams. And I agree. I do think there's definitely implicit manipulation in those conversations. And Triple T is a drill sergeant, or was a drill sergeant at one point in time. I can't think of anyone in the foot soldiers of the military who would be more adept at manipulation than a drill sergeant. Okay. But I don't think that Triple T set out to harm those teens. Okay. I don't. I think in his mind at that time, he thought I can make a very salacious video that will exploit these teenagers and put them on MTV so I can get rich and famous. That's what Triple T, really want, is to be rich and famous. Didn't care how those teens would look had they ever gotten on MTV, or what would have happened in their lives, or how that might have followed them. Okay. Didn't care. And I do find it of merit that all the questions that Triple T asked, all the conversations that were had, were of a sexual nature. Okay. He never at one point in time asked any of those teens, tell me of some party that you went to. Tell me of, tell me a funny story that happened with you and a fellow person, fellow classmate. No, every single question was sexual in nature. I mean, there wasn't anything, questions that weren't non-sexual. It was all sexual. So he's thinking the only way that I can make this MTV pilot, if it is one, is to make it salacious sexually. He doesn't think about any other way. Personally, if I was to make a TV show about baggers gone wild, I would have had them playing pranks on one another. I would have said, hey, listen, if you're under 18, you need to sign this release. If you're 18, great. But if you're under 18, you get your parents' permission, and we're going to make a TV show. And it could be very much like, the Wild Boys, or, what's the other show with Steve-O and all of them, where they're constantly doing, challenges and dares to one another. I mean, it would have been funny to see a bunch of baggers in a grocery store playing pranks on one another, right? Or if it has to be based on some sort of personal experience or story, telling stories of parties. Like, when I was a teenager and in my early 20s, I went to lots of parties where lots of stupid shit happened. That was funny, But none of those were the things they talked about. It was all sexual. Adrienne says it was so inappropriate. Yeah, it was. And honestly, this is not Triple T. This is Triple T's followers. If you're out there defending this dude, you like this dude, you need to really double think who you're carrying water for, who you're defending. You're defending a man who inappropriately had sexual conversations with teenagers in their place of work, where he was not only in age their senior, but in promotion in the hierarchy of, I can't say company because it's military, but in the hierarchy of manager and employee, he was in an above situation. Like, innately, I think if you guys can think back to the time when you're 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, etc., if there's an adult, you're looking at them as senior to you, especially when they have 4 Purple Hearts and they're 43 years old. You're going to think, I need to, there's an implicit power imbalance there. Okay. This guy wants to have sexual conversations with me. I don't particularly want to, but I'm going to have to go ahead and do this because he's the senior here. He is the adult, and what he's doing must be okay. That's what's going to go through your mind. I don't know about you. I can only speak for myself, but it wasn't until I was like 30 years old that I realized, oh, fuck, I'm the adult in the room. Okay. We don't really ever, to this point where we're like, oh, okay, I'm in control now. What I'm doing has an actual impact on my environment. Until we get older, we don't really quite realize that. We're constantly trying to escape, our early childhood, if you will. Like we're trying, when we're out partying or whatever, we're trying to avoid responsibility for the majority of our early lives. Let's be honest. Okay, at least that's how it was for me in the circle of friends that I had. We definitely didn't want to adult up, but I realized at one point in time I was an adult and that I was responsible for my own actions and whatnot. And it's very odd. I just find it very odd that Triple T was doing that at age 43. Like there was no situation that I would do that in. I worked in information technology until I retired. And, there were plenty of situations where we had interns and people who were going to be going into university, etc., who wanted a work experience. And I would never at any point in time say, hey, did that turn you on? Or tell me about what you're going to do to that girl sexually. Or aw, sucky, sucky now, when referring to one of these girls who had been in IT. I would, if I'd done that, it would have been creepy, but I also would have been right up against HR. I would have been fired. I just find the whole thing weird. Anyway, so that's my beef with Triple T. I find it gross. I want to make sure, though, that people understand where I'm at. I do not think at any level that Triple T is a pedophile. Pedophiles are sexually turned on by kids. He is not sexually turned on by kids. If anything, and I think it's probably not true, is he could be turned on by teens, which would be a whole other, whole other diagnosis. Okay. I know that people are really quick in this community to start throwing the label pedophile around. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of that. If you're going to throw that label on somebody, you really want proof. And I don't think that that's Triple T. Okay. I think that Triple T really, really, really wanted clout. And he's still chasing that clout now with ACAL, etc. Okay. It's weird, man. Like he really, really wants to be a young person. He wants to be in that young person's world. And I think Exit Velocity just now said it really, really well. He's like, listen, he gave his young life to the military, and now he wants it back. He wants to be, a young man again. Shit, I'd love to be a young man too. But I'm not. I'm 45 years old soon. He's 54 years old. Okay. Anyway, I'm not going to harp on and on and on. But if you're someone who follows him and you don't get this, I don't know what to do for you at this point in time. Right. But anyway, I'm definitely definitely going to find out the ages of those people, those teens, when he was that are in those videos. I mean, obviously, I can't get their names. People have the right to anonymity, but I'm going to find out with Freedom of Information Act the ages of the people who worked as baggers. They're in that particular base when Triple T was there with the Freedom of Information Act. And when I get that evidence, I'm going to share it with you guys because I guarantee you he's lying. Those teens in that video, not every single one was in college or 18. It's possible that the one girl, Brianna, was 18. It's possible that she wasn't. But even if they were all 18, it's still inappropriate. It's still gross. It's still weird, And if you don't get that, if they have to be under 18 for you to get that, I don't know what to do or how to help you. I really don't know. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about, if anybody gives a fuck, is how do I say this? Square, Workiverse. Supposedly or allegedly, I'm not saying it's right or incorrect or correct, but apparently Square was sharing a screen and someone saw some child pornography on a screen. So people are saying that Square is a pedophile. That might be very true. I don't know. But what's important is there are people out there who are not supposedly in Workiverse who are being labeled pedo supporters because they had some kind of interaction with Square. Okay. I know Joe Barron wanted to do a show where he was kind of buddy trolling Square called the Joe and Jagger Show. Okay. Joe Barron wanted to have, Square on this show with him. And essentially, my understanding, and I could be wrong, Joe Barron would be better to speak on it, but essentially, kind of not so much buddy troll Square, but, to kind of laugh at who Square was and things he said, right? Joe had that idea before this child pornography was seen on Square's computer, right? So Joe Barron isn't out there actively supporting and saying, hey, Square's a good dude and I support Square. That's not what he's saying. Joe had an idea to have this Joe and Jagger show thing well before this evidence came out of Square having child pornography on his computer. I haven't seen it. I don't want to see it. Right? I don't want to see it. That would probably cause a rage in me that I would be irrational about. But I just want to put out there that just because someone's had an interaction with Square in the past before this was found out doesn't mean that they're a pedo supporter. Doesn't mean that they're a Square supporter. It just means that they had an idea to do a show before then. Too Sicky says they think because it wasn't illegal that it was okay. They're wrong. Creeps. I totally agree. I totally fucking agree. If you're working in a company, and let's just say that you're 30 years old and there's a woman in the company you're working with who's 30 years old and you're her manager because Triple T was their manager, and you ask questions like that and try to have sexual conversations like that, and that woman reports you, or if someone hears her reports you, you're losing your job. Full stop. You're losing your job. Why? Because it's a form of sexual harassment, right? It's totally inappropriate. Okay. I would venture to say that even not in a work scenario, if you're in a bar, and I play bars every week as a musician for fun, okay? And if I started initiating a sexual conversation with a woman, just out of the gate without having to say anything else beforehand, I'd be seen as a creep, and rightly so. It's a creepy fucking thing to do. And it shows really bad judgment. Okay. But yeah, I'm not going to get into this game where we have to label Triple T a pedophile or label him or any of that kind of shit, really, in order to say that was wrong. What you see on the screen is wrong. In fact, you know what? I just want to show this again. Maybe listen, folks, tell me if I'm beating a dead horse here, tell me I'm beating a dead horse. Like, I'm interested in hearing that. Okay. But it just blows me away that I still get people in my chat. Like I got someone there a couple days ago who was telling me that, I was wrong, that Triple T was in the right. It's like, what planet are we on? Like where this is okay? I just want to watch it. Like, this is a great version of this. So hold on. And by the way, I thank you all for joining this chat where I'm just like going off and talking about shit. Like, thank you for joining. I really appreciate you all here. That's honestly what I care about. That's if anything, that's what I'm chasing. I'm chasing a community here of people that have like-minded people where we can share, conversations. Let's go ahead and just share this real quick. I'm going to have to unmute YouTube for this to work. Go ahead and reload that. Okay. Let's go ahead and share the screen.
First of all, my English teacher used to have his pen always type, so it will bulge right there.
Okay, so really, first of all, this is from Triple T's own channel. This was published on his own channel. You can see there at the bottom. This was published before he removed it. I believe it was him who removed this content, just like he deleted his own Twitter page because there's something to be ashamed of here. Why would you delete it otherwise? And this boy here talking, I call him a boy, probably not the right word. This teen here talking does not, to me, look like someone who's 18 years old. Looks to me like they're 16. But let's begin. And then there's the girl Brianna in the background who's speaking. And it seems to me like this was a conversation. We've come into the middle of it where it's already been initiated.
No.
Used to look at his
First of all, my English teacher used to have his pants always tight, so it would bulge right there. So you know, everybody looked at it. Like, who couldn't look at it?
Did you get turned on?
No. He wasn't.
Man, he
wasn't a good-looking guy.
So Triple T asks, she's talking about an English teacher she had who wore tight pants and had a bulge in his pants. Okay. And she's coming from the perspective of that's embarrassing and weird. Right. And she said, everybody looked at it. And then Triple T says, did that turn you on? Let's hear it again.
Did you get turned on?
No. Like, who couldn't look at it?
Did you get turned on?
No.
Did you get turned on?
He wasn't.
She says no. Why was that question asked in the beginning with? I mean, honestly, like if someone was telling me a story about that, I'd laugh and say, well, you know, that's fucking funny. Right. I wouldn't ask the girl if she was turned on. Like if I was put in this situation, let's just say I didn't initiate this conversation, I just walked into it. I would say, oh, that's freaking hilarious that some guy's wearing too tight pants. An English teacher's wearing too tight pants. Okay. Very funny story. I wouldn't ask her, hey, did that turn you on? Weird. Let me fix this.
No.
Used to look at his
First of all, my English teacher used to have his pants always tight, so it would bulge right there. So you know, everybody looked at it. Like, who couldn't look at it?
Did you get turned on?
No. He wasn't.
Man, he seen those.
Wasn't a good-looking guy.
He seen those nipples. So you didn't look at him in the face. You just looked at his dick.
And he would always keep his room cold.
You didn't look at him in the face. You just looked at his dick. So he said, first question Twizzle T asked was, did you get turned on? And she says, no, he was not a good-looking guy. So right there, she's told you this wasn't sexual for her. It was more embarrassing than anything else. And then Triple T says, he's not satisfied with that answer. He wanted to hear that it turned her on. He wanted to have a more sexual conversation. So he says, you didn't look at him in the face. You looked at him in the dick. Let's go back.
So you didn't look at him in the face. You just looked at his dick.
You didn't look at him so you didn't look at him in the face. You just looked at his dick.
And he would always keep his room cold. So his nipples were always. No.
If you watch that video and you think there's absolutely nothing wrong with that interaction, you need help. You need help. That's fucked up. Okay. These teens, let's just go by Triple T's lie that they're all 18. They're not 18. That boy in the beginning there who's observing this conversation, who's taking part in it, is absolutely not 18 years old. It's just no way. Sorry, he's 16 at most. Okay. And I'll tell you what, when I was 23, 22, I had a job as a doorman where I'm supposed to look at people in the face. I'm much older now. Part-time job as a doorman at a bar, a few bars. And you get people who were under 21 who kept trying to come in. If that teen came in to our door trying to get in there, I would absolutely card him. And I would be surprised, beyond surprised, if he was actually 18. Okay? There's no way that kid's 18. I'm sorry. I just don't believe that. I need evidence to believe that more than Triple T's word. But it doesn't even matter. It makes it creepier, but it's still creepy as fuck, right? You don't have sexual conversations with teenagers when you're a 44, 43-year-old man. You just don't do that. If these are all teenagers talking to one another, it's different. You're a 44, 43-year-old man. You should know better. You don't have these kind of conversations yet. let alone try to steer them in an even more sexual way. Okay. And Triple T was so proud of this video that he published it on his own Triple T YouTube page. Folks, look at this. I mean, it's right there on his own page. And he made a title of it. This isn't my title. He made a title of it. It says, Brianna checks out teacher and Johnny's dick. So he's saying that a teacher, this girl Brianna, has not only checked out her teacher's dick, but Johnny's dick. And he's so proud of this video, he uploaded it to his own YouTube channel. Unless he's going to try to say that someone else uploaded the video that he made to his own YouTube channel. And I would not be surprised that's his argument, because he's argued more ridiculous shit. And his supporters have argued more ridiculous shit. Like, Mocon made that Twitter page in 2014. Give me a fucking break. Honestly. I know I'm harping on here. And if I'm harping on here, just tell me to shut the fuck up. And I will. But I don't think that, I'm honestly speaking to people who might find this in the future, who are like, am I wrong for thinking this is inappropriate? If she could disappear into that wall, she would have. She's so embarrassed. I would agree. And lots of these conversations, that I have videos of, and two sickies, by the way, if you don't have this, let me give this to you, because I think it's important that you have it, because you make fantastic content, by the way. Like, I know that you're critical of JM, and I like JM, etc. But I think the quality, especially of your photos and pictures stuff, are really good. I don't say I agree with you on everything, but you probably don't agree with me on everything. But let me go ahead and share this with you here. That's another thing we need to talk about, is this whole groupthink thing, right? This whole, association thing, or guilty by association thing, that shit needs to fucking end. There's a folder there. I have it shared out. And in that folder is all the videos that I've been able to get, bar the one I just played, which is on my YouTube channel now. Right? I want you to, if you want, I would like you to have those and download them if you want to do something with them, because it needs to get out. Honestly, Triple T was proud of this shit. He put it on his YouTube channel, and now he's ashamed of it. He deleted it all off his YouTube channel and deleted the Twitter that was the source where I found the files. Oh, by the way, just deleting them off your YouTube isn't intelligent, Triple T, when you have other places you've uploaded them to. Think about it. And anyone trying to say that Mocon made that Twitter page, how the fuck is he going to get the original files? Okay. And upload on that Twitter page. Go back, and the Mocon needs to go back in time to 2014, create this before he even knew Triple T existed, make this fucking Twitter page, and then upload videos that Triple T made to that Twitter page. Give me a fucking break. Choosing is download these already. Great. Hey, Brandy, welcome. I'm looking forward to your show. Do you have any episodes out of that yet? I really want to check that out. Your Holler Girls thing. I really want to check that out. I'm gonna take a break. I'll be right back, folks. Hey, do me a favor, like this if you want. I mean, it just helps get the word out about this weirdo. That's what I'm interested in. Be right back.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, back. So, yeah, like the guilt by association shit. I have a problem. Let's just say, like, hypothetically, I have a problem with Joe Dirt or whatever, and I see Han Solo or whatever in his chat. Okay, maybe just making comments in general. So I'm gonna go after Han Solo as well as Joe Dirt because I have a problem. That's fucking stupid. Listen, y'all can be any damn chat you want to be in. You can be support anyone that you want to be supporting. I think fucking AD is a moron, like a just like fucking stupid as fuck, and nobody should be smoking weed when you're that fucking stupid. But if you like AD and you want to go there, I say more power to you. Honestly, am I going to judge you for that? Yeah, absolutely. But more power to you. That's your right. That's freedom. Okay, you can go listen to me. You can listen to anybody on here. If you want to go to someone's chat and you're afraid of commenting because you're afraid you're going to be bullied by someone else in the community because they have an issue with the person's YouTube channel whose chat you're in, that's dumb. That's really fucking dumb. Don't be intimidated by that, right? If I have beef with anybody, I have beef with that person. I have beef with Triple T. I don't have beef with any of his followers unless they come into my channel and start spouting some really stupid cope and nonsense. Okay. I have no beef with his followers, right? Exactly. Hey, Kay, welcome. Yo, thank you, Kay. Hit that like. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, this is you. This is YouTube 10th grade. Hey, you don't need to be sorry for being late, Apple Creek. I'm glad that you have it here. Too sick is you really can't explain it any other way. Yeah, it absolutely is. Very 10th grade shit. Come on, guys. Like, I'm not saying anybody in my chat right now does that, but going after Joe Barron because he wanted to make a silly YouTube show with Square before it was known that Square had child pornography on his computer does not mean that Joe Barron is a pedo supporter. Come on. No. Now, if he, after the fact, if someone contacted Square and said, hey, I know that you have child porn on your computer and I believe that child porn to be real and I want to support you, well, then duh, they're a pedo supporter and they're trash, right? But like anyone who supported Square, and I don't think Joe Barron supported Square at all, but anybody who supported Square out and out supported Square before knowing that he had child porn on his computer shouldn't be called a pedo supporter, in my opinion, because they had no knowledge of this, right? And it extends to other things. Like if I'm trying to think of anybody who's beef with another person. Okay, for example, Psychobabble Rap. I think that dude is a fucking just total scumbag, right? Honestly, I think he's obsessed with Ryan Upchurch, just like Johnny Gobble is, and feels jaded and slated by Ryan Upchurch, just like Johnny Gobble does, because he didn't have a personal friendship with him, with some internet country music star that doesn't know him, right? Or like Triple T did. Triple T didn't get any validation off Ryan Upchurch, so therefore we're gonna hate on this person. Okay. That doesn't mean that I have beef with anybody who goes and watches a Psychobabble Rap video, right? I don't have a problem with that. You're in this chat. Let's move past that, folks. Like, if you have beef, let's have beef with the person, not with someone who may be in their chat. I look at it this way: more content for others to clip and comment on. I agree, Kay. I really do. I think it is. I think you're right there. Honestly, folks, like, I think that's silly. Honestly, I think Psychobabble Rap is just a weird old gay obsessive Ryan Upchurch. I think Johnny Gobble has some sort of weird wearing the dude's jeans, wearing Ryan Upchurch's old clothes obsession. But are they harmful? Probably not. They just say a lot of horrible shit and stupid shit for attention. They're desperate for attention, really. And I think Triple T is in that same category, because Triple T is very desperate for attention. Very desperate. If you disagree with me, I'm happy to hear your opinion. Like, I'm not going to be upset if someone disagrees with me, right? I'm happy for an intelligent argument any day of the week. But I think that they're all kind of in the same category. I think there's a lot of common ground between PBR, between Johnny Gobble, and Triple T. And although they may have different backgrounds, whereas Triple T had an honorable background, he's still at that place now. Whereas Johnny Gobble and PBR are both two deadbeat dads that, avoid paying child support, right? For all I know, I know that he has 4 children. I know Triple T is taking care of those 4 children. And I'm not for the one for like saying, giving congratulations to people for doing what they're supposed to do. But hey, good on him for that, right? Good on Triple T, right? I can't deal with who Triple T was in 2007 when he was 36 years old and out of active duty, or who he was before then. I can only deal with the Triple T I see now. And Uncle Will is not interested in kind of, sitting on Triple T's neck anymore. And that's his decision. I like Uncle Will, and I'm a friend of Uncle Will's, and that's his decision. I'm not upset about that. But Uncle Will came out and said, that man, Triple T, referring to Triple T, is giving everything for his country, blah, blah, blah. That's all true. Absolutely true. But that happened in the past, right? That happened in 2007 and before. It's not who he is now. I feel like he runs behind his military service every time he screws up. Triple T, here's my advice to you. If you're listening to this, and you probably will be, right? Because I know you watch everything that I do. It's fucking weird. Because if what I'm saying wasn't true, you wouldn't be following me. You'd think I'm just some weird nutter. Here's what you need to do with regards to the Bagger Gone Wild video. You need to come out and say, listen, if you genuinely don't know, be honest. Say, hey, listen, all those teens, they weren't 18. I did speak very inappropriate to them. All these conversations were sexual. Yeah, it's wrong. And I did. Here's my motivation for doing that. I wanted to have a MTV series, but what I did was wrong. My decision making was poor. All those conversations were sexual and inappropriate. I put my hands up. I felt they were appropriate so much I put them on my own YouTube channel and Twitter pages, and I was wrong. And it was wrong in 2015. It's wrong now, and I can only put my hands up and say it's wrong. That's what you do. Over. It's over at that point. But you have this inability to admit when you're wrong. from what I know from the conversation with Uncle Will, from what he told everybody, I don't have any special inside to track to that. But, you know, he said, we had a conversation. This is Uncle Will speaking. Uncle Will said he had a conversation with Triple T, and they agreed to disagree on the Baggers Gone Wild videos. So even in a private conversation, he couldn't say, yeah, man, that was fucking stupid of me. I don't know what I was thinking. He couldn't admit any kind of wrong. And you're absolutely right, Adrian. They doubled, they tripled down, they quadrupled down. So dumb. I have made mistakes in my life. I put my hand up and I say I'm wrong. And I learn from those things and I move on. You know, when I was, let's think about it now. This would be used by ammunition by stupid people. But like, you know, when I was in my early 20s, did I ever drive home when I had too much to drink? Could I have put somebody's life in peril? Absolutely. Is that wrong and stupid? Absolutely. Did I get a DUI or a DWI? No. Did I actually have an accident? No. But that was irresponsible of me. I put my hand up. I was wrong, you know, when I was 22 or 23 years old to drive home over the legal limit, right? Too fucking stupid of me. I put not only my life at risk, but other people's lives at risk. And there's no excuse for it other than just being fucking stupid, irresponsible, and selfish. I was probably only thinking about myself. I was probably only thinking, oh, you know what? I want to get home. I don't want to pay for a taxi. Right? That was completely wrong of me to do. And what did I do? I've learned from that and I've moved on. That's what life is. We make mistakes and we move on. That's what it's all about. Triple T, let's end this now. Honestly, make a video. Say it honestly with your actual heart. I was wrong when I made those videos and had those inappropriate conversations with teenagers. Was not okay on any level. I had no right to do that. I was in a position of authority. They were, you know, on the hierarchy of things. I was their manager. They were subordinates. All those conversations were sexual. My motivation for doing it was to have some kind of MTV show. I wanted to have, you know, I wanted to make a successful MTV show. I wanted to be rich and famous or whatever those real goals. And I was wrong. I was wrong. What I thought I was doing was right, but I was wrong. That's it. No one else can say shit from that point on. Me, nobody. Let's look at the comments here. Forget me not. Okay, I know you're just learning of these things that have been out for some time, but people aren't going to speak up because Lori has a notebook of over 300 people's addresses. Okay, that's interesting, forget me not. So essentially, they're afraid to speak up because Lori has their address. Honestly, so what? Like personally, if I'm one of those people that she has my address up, so what? The government has my address, etc., etc. Postman has my address. What does it matter? What are you going to do? Come to my house, threaten me? Or are you going to try to sue me because I'm speaking facts of what you've put out there? Honestly, 99% of what I know about Triple T, he put out himself. And by the way, he needs to apologize for what he did to Kansas Rebel Man. That was fucked. I forgot about those raffles. She has this. Yeah, honestly, to people. Yeah, okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Two sickies and forget me not. Don't ever give anyone in this YouTube community your address, your real name, your real contact info. If you feel like you need to have one-on-one conversations, use an intermediary like Instagram, where you can have. I mean, I'm going to shock all of you, but my birth name is not Dan Redbeard. Okay, it's not on my birth certificate. I hold my anonymity. You know, it's very precious and important to me. Okay. And mainly it's not because of me. It's because of there are a lot of fucking weird people on the internet. I've had them in this chat where they try to defend Triple T for talking to teenagers like that. Okay. Your anonymity needs to be something that you hold with a lot of respect, you know, and there's nobody in this community, nobody that has my real name, my real address, any information I give out, any information anybody has, is because I've put it out there. I've said that I'm in Ireland. Okay, so you know what country I'm in. Okay. I've said that I'm a dual citizen. That's that, and about, you know, $7 will get you a Starbucks coffee. Okay. You guys, honestly, I think it's really important. When the internet was made, it was never thought of to be something where you would have your real identity linked to it. Okay. I'll go on and bore the shit out of everybody about internet security. This is something I did for, my career for many, many years. But point being is that, guys, you need to have your real identity that you keep to yourself and your family, and you need to have your internet identity. And just because you like someone or and you feel like you're friends with them, you don't give them your real information. It takes years to know somebody. It really takes years. I hear story after story on Instagram of people who contacted me how they were screwed over because they gave their real information as such and such. Okay. PBR, Square, Johnny Gobble. These are all people who came out and told us who they were. And then when they get looked into or had background checks, they're all upset. Oh, you doxed me. No, you doxed you. Gotcha Man, James Horner. He told people his real name. Okay. I don't recommend doing that. There's the whole thing of if you have nothing to hide, why hide it? I have very good reasons for hiding my actual identity. It's my kids. I don't want psycho babble rap or something like that showed up to my kids' school. Would you? Think about that. Don't give out your real address. Don't give out anything to Lawyer or any of these people. Not good. Forget me not. Triple T and Lawyer are trash. Just because you are a veteran doesn't mean you can treat people who aren't like they are beneath you or like you're better than. Oh, I totally agree. I totally agree. 100% forget me not. And this is what I keep telling people. Like, one thing that Triple T does, and what people who aren't even necessarily supporters of Triple T will do, they'll run behind his 4 Purple Hearts and his Bronze Star and his military service. Okay. Thank you, Triple T, for your military service. Okay. However, I have the problem with Triple T in 2024. I have a problem with that person. I don't have a problem with 2007 or 2006 or 1999 Triple T. My issue is with Triple T in 2024 and the things he did in 2015. Those are the people I have issues with, right? Don't run behind your military and use that as a shield, your military history. Use that as a shield to say, you can't criticize me because I have 4 Purple Hearts. Fuck that. That's not what freedom of speech is. That's not what America's about. That's not what about honesty's about. Okay. Great. Thank you for your service. But that doesn't give you a pass for talking to children inappropriately, or excuse me, teenagers inappropriately. That doesn't give you a pass for all the dirty shit you've done in this online internet community. It doesn't give you a pass for what you did to Candace Rollman. Apple Creek says, I work with vulnerable people and very expensive dogs. I also have a stepdaughter, so I like to keep my identity off here. Absolutely. All too right. I think everyone, regardless of what you should not be using your real identity on here. Bad move. Did you see that HBR released a song by Upchurch from SoundCloud claiming church didn't sound country back then? HBR. Remind me, who's HBR? Holler Boy Record? Oh, no, that wouldn't make sense. Yeah. Mr. Tennessee Living, TN Living. Explain to me what you mean by HBR. Maybe I'm in Ireland right now, and it's 9:10, and I had a gig, and as a musician, they give me free alcohol. That's the only time I ever drink is when I'm at a gig and I'm playing, and maybe I'm just not quite remembering now. I am nearly 45 years old. You have to forgive me. HBR released a song. Yeah, I want to know what that's about. Please tell me more. Two Suzuki's. Yeah, most of us don't want CPS knocking on our doors. Exactly. Right. And this is something that Gobble complained of, and probably rightfully. He said that the people on the internet sent CPS to his door. Right. Probably not a bad idea that CPS checked into Johnny Gobble, but Johnny Gobble didn't do anything that online to make me think that he was abusing or neglectful of his, daughter that was living with him. He's generally neglectful of his children, doesn't pay child support. And I'm not going to go into all that. But my point being is that innocent people don't need CPS at the door. I wouldn't, I like, for example, I think If you look into Triple T, you'll see that he has grandchildren. Okay, that's no huge surprise. I'm not going to call up and make allegations to Child Protective Services that those children are being hurt by Triple T because I have no evidence of that. I don't. It's not true. If it was true, if I had evidence of that, absolutely I'd do that. But there are people who are vindictive and use CPS and the police to push their agenda because they have no morals or no dignity, right? Obviously, you need to keep. That's one of many reasons to keep your identity, to yourself. I don't know who he is. He's been on Triple T's show though. So HBR, I guess is your name. Yeah. Damn. I wish I could find these out. These songs were just first try at putting things out. Interesting. Well, yeah, it's weird. Church supposedly rapped under a different name that wasn't country rap, so they're trying to say he's not a true country rapper. What a bunch of fucking idiots. Oh my God. Here's the thing. Ryan Upchurch is a country rapper. He is also a country singer. He is also a rock singer. He is also a grunge singer. He is also a folk singer. He is also a beat maker. He is also a musician. He plays guitar. Am I saying he's the world's best guitarist? No, he's constantly learning. He'd say that himself. You don't have to be one thing. That whole premise is ridiculous. Really, I don't know who invented country rap. I don't care. I do know who made it famous. Ryan Upchurch. I mean, Kid Rock kind of did some country stuff, but he was mainly like rock and rap. There might be some, there might be some kind of like Boosie Badass or something, but I don't know. Am I a huge fan of the country rap genre to where I could talk about who did it and where it started? No. But even like, say, with the genre of punk rock, today, 2024, there are still people arguing whether it was the Ramones in New York or the Sex Pistols in London that started punk rock. It doesn't fucking matter, right? It doesn't matter who started country rap. It matters who brought that genre. Maybe what was his name? Uncle Cracker, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. Back in the 90s, I don't know. I really don't know. Exactly, 260s. Like I would, if I was to get in that argument, I'd say Iggy Pop as well because the Stooges were very punk in 1969, right? Or the MC5, right? Hey, I'm a music nerd too, right? Does it matter? No, it matters that it happened. It matters that people made. That's one of the biggest problems I have with Triple T. What started all of this? Music is not a competitive sport. Let me say that again. Music is not a competitive sport. Okay. Music isn't football. It's not soccer. It's not rugby. Okay. Is there really a good, better, best, bad, better, but no, it's really what you like. I have a friend of mine who loves this really obscure noise band from the 90s called 7 Bitch Pile Up. It actually exists. Google it. The music, I'm not a fan of it. I personally think it's fucking horrendous. I can't listen to that. He actively listens to that. He actively listens to the Locust and Lightning Bolt. To me, that's mainly noise. Look that stuff up. Okay. I don't get noise rock. I don't like it, but I'm not going to pass judgment and say that it's shit. Clearly, it holds value to somebody. And that's my biggest fucking complaint. Before I found out about the talking to fucking teens weird shit, is Triple T has the rundown, right? And when I first called him out for this, he says, "Hey Cletus, I'm not the judge. I have musicians on the show who are judges." But he passes judgment on the rundown. And he also had Dog Pound Reaction, where he had a show called Gas or Trash, where he'd get music and he'd say, this is either gas, as it goes, I guess, or trash. First of all, music isn't a competition. Nobody should be fucking like Battle of the Bands shit. I always thought that shit was fucking dumb. I never participated in that kind of shit. music, artistic output. Like you wouldn't take fucking Renoir and Monet and Van Gogh and say, let's get all these guys in a battle of the artists. No, they're all fucking great. Okay. The premise in itself is stupid. Okay. But let's just say that you think you're able to pass judgment. What credentials do you have to pass judgment? Like I can say, I think Triple T's rap is shit. Personally, I don't like it. There might be people that think it's good. I mean, I can play it for you here now. I don't think it's good. I think he's off time. I think he's off cadence. But maybe there's somebody that likes that. But if you're going to try to pass judgment on music, you need to be in a situation where you have enough experience as to where that's even viable. Do you play any music instruments? Have you recorded any actual albums that have charted or had some sort of indie alert? Have you played gigs, right? Have you worked as a manager in the music industry? Have you worked as a promoter? If you answer no to all of those, you shouldn't be judging music. Okay? You can say, hey, this is a show about what I like and don't like. Okay? I'm gonna think it's funny, but it isn't going to matter. But for you to have a competition to get young people in there or people who are young artists, maybe older, that are starting to make music, okay, and shit on that, fuck you. You've got no right to do that, in my opinion. I think you're fucking a piece of shit. So I got some comments here. I'm going to read them real quick. Yeah, I think it's true. Okay, sorry, I've gone back here. There's some good stuff here. Hold on. I think it's still trying to say it's true country. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I agree. It says silly. Absolutely silly. Yeah, Cowboy Creek says I listen to music I like. Simple as that. Right. And I might discover music tomorrow that, I like or don't like. I probably play stuff on my YouTube channel that some people think sucks. Right. That's okay. Music that I like I'm happy with me liking it. No one else has to like it for me to feel validation. Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he does, says Mr. T and Lemon. Yeah, he absolutely does. 2 Seconds says, I think everything's a competition with Triple T. YouTube, music, money. Yeah, I agree. That's a very good point, 2 Sickies. Everything seems competitive with him, right? Everything is a challenge. Okay. Everything is suck my dick with Triple T, right? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm getting too hippie here, but listen, okay. It's my personal belief that it is possible. I'm not saying this is exactly what it is. Okay. I don't have any fucking answers. I'm just another person like you guys out there. Okay. I believe that it's possible that we're in this reality because we need to learn something and move on. Maybe there's reincarnation, maybe there's not. I don't know. I know that we're here. And if we're not here for a reason, then it's pointless. And I don't believe things are pointless. We need to learn something. And I think Triple T needs to learn a lot. And maybe it's my thing I need to learn in life is to tolerate people like him, to realize that they're beginning their journey and they're going to do a lot of offensive and stupid fucking things. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm fucking wrong. He's just an asshole. I don't know. But honestly, we've got something to learn here. And I think we can learn a lot from each other in this community, not only by passing on knowledge, but seeing the actions of people and learning from them. Excuse me. Old school Tyler, you're welcome. Triple T is all about the drama. Yeah, I totally agree. Drama equals clicks, that equals clout. He's chasing it. When Triple T, one of the funniest things Triple T accused me of was chasing clout. That's the very first thing that came out of his mouth. Or excuse me, not out of his mouth, out of his typing hands on my comments. And then it came out of his mouth. I could honestly care less about this clout. If there's one person in here listening to me, instead of the 24 that are here, I would say I would still keep talking. Like, I do this for me. All right. I do this for the friendships I have here on the internet. I don't do this for clout. Clout's worth nothing to me. You can't take clout to the bank and buy a house with clout. And if you don't agree with him, you get blocked. Yeah. The irony of that, isn't it? Triple T tells us that he went to war in Iraq and Afghanistan, I believe, or one of those places or both, to protect our freedoms. And then on his own YouTube channel, he doesn't believe in freedom of speech. He just shuts you down if you don't agree with him. Okay. Now that's just right. But it seems highly hypocritical to me to be talking about saving and protecting free speech and how we owe him a debt because of what he did. And then to go off and just block people he disagrees with, right? Very funny. Seems like he's almost overcompensating for something. You know, just looking at the picture of the eggplant. I honestly don't even want to think about that. Young souls, says Adrienne. Maybe not. Like, I had to see his actions, and I don't know. I can only judge that as someone who is very immature. Like, surprisingly immature. Triple T is surprisingly immature to me. Tusicki says, oh, so what? I know a lot of a-holes that served in the military, a-holes before that, and a-holes after. Yep. I totally agree. Forget Me Not says, if your wife had a bigger cock than you, you'd probably be miserable too. That's awful and funny. You know, fuck. You know what? I try to be a better person. I probably shouldn't have done, I shouldn't have looked into Triple T like that and exposed him for his, sexual preferences. But it seems to be a running theme in my life, or my experience, and what I see is that the dudes out there who are constantly using phrases like alpha male, who constantly try to turn everything into a competition, who constantly are trying to, impose some sort of hierarchy, who are the dudes out there who always challenge or want to challenge people or say things like suck my dick and, fuck you and everything's a fight, are the dudes that are into gay shit. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. Just my experience. Like, tons of dudes out there that aren't like that. Like, Shoddy is one of the most chill dudes I've met in this community. I talk to him on Instagram daily, talk about music and shit, right? And he's never once, spoke about something in the way of it being a challenging or a fight or a competition. Okay. And that's what Triple T, that's one of the things, like, probably one of my faults is I start to give a fuck when my brain itches. When I say brain itches, it makes me think. When something doesn't add up, and I should be using these skills for more good than the evil. But when something doesn't add up and it makes my brain itch, and I have to think, it won't go away. I keep thinking about it. Like, I'll lay in bed at night and I'll go, fuck, I got to find what's going on here. That's the whole reason I looked into Triple T. His behavior online made my brain itch, right? And so there's more here. There's something that's not adding up. Overcompensating, whatever. And so it came in stages, right? And that's something that Triple T doesn't want you to know about. Honestly, the first thing I heard about him was not the first thing ever. The first interaction I ever with Triple T was a long time ago, about a year ago, on 80's channel. 80 and this was during 80 and Johnny Cash's first, falling out, their first breakup. Okay. And I first off started up like, hey, listen, you two guys don't want to fight. You're friends. I was on the panel, so was Johnny Cash, so was AD. There was another person there, right? And I said, you guys don't want to fight. This is dumb. Neither of you guys are up for fighting. Johnny Cash, your health is poor. AD, you're on the other side of the country. This is dumb, right? And they both kept egging each other on. They both kept doing this really immature thing of, like, no, fuck you, I'll kick your ass. No, fuck you, I'll kick your ass. No, and start making, this is all on the panel. And then, they're both getting very agitated at one another. And I said, okay, fine. Okay, you want to fight each other? Fight each other. Do it. The best way to squash this was to get them to realize that they weren't going to fight. And did they fight? No, they didn't fight. Okay. They talked like they were going to fight for about a week, and then they didn't fight. Because you want to know something? No one's going to put forth the effort to fight someone who's on the other side of the fucking country. Okay? They're just not going to do it. It's ridiculous. And they're probably not going to fight when they get in person. Okay? AD can't even leave his house without having PTSD, or, having mental health issues because of what he's suffering from. Johnny Cashville, I like Johnny Cashville, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking shit on him, but he's a big guy. He's probably not in a position where it'd be healthy for him to fight at this stage. I'm not saying he can't. I'm sure you're both very able to defend yourselves and you're both amazing boxers or whatever, right? But just do it. Fight. And of course, when I went that way, Triple T comes on and says, "Oh, fuck you. I think this guy in Ireland's a fucking agitator." I said, "Dude, you don't know the fuck you're talking about. Fuck you." And the first thing he tried to do was, "I'll kick your ass." Okay, right, Triple T. It was funny was at the same time I was giving Lori fucking technical support. She wanted to know how to do this and that, right? So it's like, okay, this is dumb. I'm not gonna fucking help Lori anymore. She's gonna defend this idiot. I mean, she has to. She's his wife. So I didn't talk to him for a long time. It's he's just a blowhard, a moron. Let it go. Didn't care about him for a year. I was occupied with more shit. And then I heard Mike 12 Point talking about what he did to Kansas Rebel Man. And if anybody wonders what happened, Triple T had Acal's dick so far up his ass that, Triple T decided that it was important to be his best bitch. And when they were in Taylorville at the Mud, the Ryan Upchurch concert with a bunch of other artists, and Acal was playing. Triple T was a part of Acal's posse, probably because Triple T's really good at kissing Acal's ass, and Acal needs that to be validated. It was part of his little posse. And, Triple T goes into Walmart, sees Kansas Rebel Man there, runs out, tells freaking Acal, "You know who's in the Walmart there? It's Kansas Rebel Man, the guy who's talking shit on you." And they go in there 5-1 and intimidate Kansas Rebel Man with a girl who was a streamer, right? And Mike 12 Point actually had video that Triple T made of him talking about this, bragging about it. Triple T has since deleted this video. It's like, what the fuck is up with that? That's some scumbaggy fucking behavior. That's some bitch behavior. And by the way, Triple T, you're a bitch for that. You know you are. So that got my brain itching. And then this whole falling out with Johnny Cashville happened. And I was like, what's going on here? Why is he judging people's music to begin with? Such and such. So I started looking into him. And I was contacted. I made some posts about on my community page about how ridiculous it was that, Triple T was, judging other people's music when he wasn't a musician himself or had any success in the music industry. And someone said, "Hey, Dumb Gene, here's a click to a link to Dumb Gene reviewing a video someone else made." And it was the Baggers Gone Wild stuff. And I didn't have I'm not going to post, like I said before, I'm not going to post a reaction to a reaction. Uncle Will's stream. I want to fucking get some real quality stuff. So started searching the internet. And when I searched the internet, I found the videos on his Twitter page that he first uploaded them to in 2015. On Twitter account he made in 2014. And after the Uncle Will live, I started thinking, I didn't really dig into Triple T as well as I could. Like, I'm really interested in this open source intelligence stuff. So I used a few different tools. I'm not going to bore everybody with the details. If you want to know, I'll tell you. But essentially, I searched using the various different emails that Triple T had put out on the internet on his various, channels under the more information, what they call that thing there on YouTube. When you click on it, you see the various links to other social media, etc. And I saw they had his tank.demon4 email address. And I searched his email address using a command line tool that was a Python program written in Python that searches what website someone has signed up to. It's not conclusive. It only shows websites where it's either public or it's been leaked through a data leak. And I saw he signed up to 2 different Gmail websites. And I thought it was funny. I thought it was a good way to knock him down a peg, right? What's funny to me is he didn't care about the Baggers Gone Wild stuff that much. He cares about the fact that he got exposed for liking Gmails. Let's look at some of these comments that have been coming thick and fast. He would have done the same thing to any of us. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Even better, he would have made up lies about us too. Yeah, probably. Ah, damn, forget me not. That's cold blooded. Anyone who's seen Lori, this trans site couldn't have been that big of a surprise. Damn, man. Apple Creek says, my dad did 22 years. My brother was in 11 years. They assumed the military. Neither of them are like that. Yeah, I think he went in that way and he came out that way. And then some hellos. So, listen, I could sit here and rag on Lori for being overweight. That's not an insult. That's just a fact of what I see with my eyes. And older, right? But the reality is we all gain weight or we all lose weight. We all grow. I'm not going to give her shit for that. I'm going to give Lori shit for what she does do. She runs interference for her husband. Okay. And she does it a lot. I'd be curious to see what she did in the military because I know she's a service member herself. Right. But there's got to be a time where she gets tired of running interference for Triple T, for going in there and doing damage control and cleanup. Just like Two Sickies had that amazing fucking picture that she put up on her YouTube, or excuse me, YouTube community post. Lori in the middle of a dump truck trying to clean up all the messes for fucking Triple T. She's always on here, trying to get into the DMs of people that he's offended or that he's fucked around with and trying to smooth things over or explain this or that or, make it live or whatever. She was so incredibly triggered when I put out that info. I actually didn't even say it was Triple T. When I said there was someone in this community who has an interest in transsexuals, boom, she's so triggered, she makes a fucking live. Now, did I imply it was Triple T? Absolutely, but I wasn't going to come out and say it. She did that for me. I thought that she might, but I didn't realize it was going to be so quick. This is last Friday, man. I was on the way to a gig and I got contacted by 4 different people saying, Lori's doing a live right now. And it's funny, Triple T was at work. She went live before she even talked to Triple T, I suspect. I don't know it to be fact. And goes live, right? To run defense for this. Dude, why? Why would you do that? Common sense tells you ignore that, if anything, right? Ignore it. But instead, she comes out, does 4 lives in that one fucking night, her and Triple T, trying to quote unquote expose me. She gets some fucking dude on there who says, Dan Redbeard's a liar because he said that you couldn't run this on Windows, and you totally can. Well, first of all, you couldn't, because there's something called dependencies. I'll get into Geekland here. Yeah, Windows has Python, but you can't just run a program that's written in Python. You need the dependencies, the libraries. Anyway, that was supposedly, and this is why he's a lot, like, she really harped on that. He's lying to you. You can run this on Windows. Go for it. Show us how you do it then. But even if I'm wrong, so what? That's not the point. She got out there in front. And then the weirdest thing was, Lori brought on this overweight gentleman. I'm just describing that because that's a picture, not because I care that he's overweight, but because he put his camera on. So if you go back and watch the video, you'll see it. Who's a part of some pedophile catchers group. And she brought that guy on to say that Triple T wasn't a pedophile. What the fuck? I never accused him of being a pedophile. In fact, I came right out and said that he wasn't a pedophile to my knowledge. Why bring him out? It's making my brain itch. It's really making my brain itch. It makes me wonder. I'm not saying this is fact. It makes me wonder if there's some kind of paperwork out there on Triple T for interfering with somebody or some kind of allegation or something. Why would you come out there and start doing damage control for pedophilia allegations that never happened? What? That made no fucking sense to me. I watched a little bit of it there and then I had to go play the gig. And I was just like, why would you even come out and say, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just common sense. If a situation was reversed and it was true or not true, I'd fucking ignore it. It's common sense. She just jumps right out there and starts running defense. What? Dude, so dumb. Okay, let's get in here. Let's take a look here. I agree. Okay, let's keep looking here. Apple Creek. I don't think it's fair to say that about Lori. Oh, what did I say about Lori that you didn't like? Let me know, Apple Creek. I'd value your opinion. Or was it not me? It was someone else's comment. Let me know. Sometimes women should be seen and not heard. Oh, that's awful, Adrienne. Come on now. Come on now. Yes, I agree. Lori must be exhausted. She creates half the messes herself. I think so. Forget me not. For someone who's trying to clean things up, she definitely makes a big messes herself. No one ever said the tits are chest players. She craves attention. Maybe that's why she went out there and did that. I don't know. Old Sam Squash is a good dude. I don't know why they brought him on, other than to show that they have friends in high places or within that realm of YouTube. Right. Thank you, Kay. His name was Sam Squanch. And I think anybody who goes out there trying to catch pedophiles, more power to you. I support you. I believe in the death penalty for pedophiles. I believe in the death penalty for any sexual violence, rapists, etc. I honestly do. Trump actually mentioned something about the death penalty for traffickers, and children abusers at one point in time in his first presidency. I really wish I would have seen that. I think he's mentioned it again recently. Pass that legislation. I will support it. I want to see the death penalty for anyone that harms children or the sexual violence on any adult or child. And yeah, why did she have him on there? That made no sense. Like you're saying, to show they have friends in high places or within that realm of YouTube, maybe. But like, no, like, why would you want to even imply that? Why would you bring that in to the conversation? Why would you bring pedophilia and pedophiles hunter in to the conversation? It's like, at best it's weird, and at worst you're going to get people thinking, why are you defending allegations that haven't been made? Okay. Yeah, she's always talking her shit during the runtime. Can't keep her mouth shut. Yeah, probably true. I don't watch it. Apple Creek says, just thinking about it makes me cringe. Mark would be livid with me if I got on the line and tried to fight his battles. He'd be humiliated. Yeah. That's interesting to say, Apple Creek. I would agree with that, right? Like, I had to think about that in my own situation here. Like, with my partner, would I want her to fight my battles? Would I want her? Honestly, I'm embarrassed of this interaction. Like, I'm embarrassed that like it made my brain itch so much that I've gone this deep on Triple T, who's really not worth my time or anyone else's. He really isn't worth the time, right? But it's made my brain itch, so I had to look into it, and now we have this like beef. Okay, but like it is embarrassing. Like if I was to explain to someone who did not know this YouTube community or did not know Triple T and explain this to them, they'd probably look at me. In fact, she said to me, "Why are you wasting your time with this?" And I've explained to her that, and she gets it. Like she's exposed people herself. She's a big time YouTuber. That's another thing. By the way, if I was clout chasing, I'd have her on my YouTube. I'd have her spreading my channel to her fans. She's someone who has nearly 2 million fans on YouTube, right? That's her job. That's what my partner does. If I cared about that, we'd be all over each other's channels. I'd be trying to get followers from, I don't care about that. Like that's the biggest thing. I could give a fuck less about clout. This is my show that I do for my fun, right? You can see how highly it is produced. The cameras, the lights, the high-end graphics. Oh, Apple Creek, not you, Dan. Good. I'd hate to say something that offends you, Apple Creek. Kay, talking about sexual predators and people who harm children. I wish more would off themselves. Yeah, I would do too. I hate the idea that we're feeding these sex criminals and we're putting them up in prisons for 20, 30 years or whatever. No, much cheaper to have a bullet. Sherry says, if he's such an alpha, why does Lori have to fight his battles? Exactly. What I heard, I don't know this to be fact, Sherry. What I heard was that during one of these, things that happened in the military, whether I don't know if it happened, I heard he has some sort of brain damage. The Triple T has some sort of brain damage, and that makes complete sense to me. The person said he has some sort of brain damage. They didn't tell me what kind or whatnot, but I think Triple T has some sort of. I let me put it this way: I hope Triple T has some sort of brain damage that is affecting his decision making, because his decision making is highly suspect. He's someone who made the decision to talk sexually and only sexually to teens multiple times, multiple people in his place of work and their place of work, and then thought it was a good idea to put that shit on YouTube and Twitter. Clearly, something is wrong with the part of his brain that makes decisions, and it could be that he's just an asshole, or it could be from the war. If it's some sort of injury that he has a genuine disability from, get off the fucking internet. Get off the internet. Okay, let's keep looking. I just saw Two Sickies work with Lori. Great post. Yeah, that's a great post, isn't it? Old School Tyler. That's a waste of a good bullet. Yeah, I agree. He goes, fireworks too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no one gets my YouTube. No one gets this. Nobody gets this. Like, trying to explain this YouTube community and what I'm doing to a third part, what I'm doing here to a third party, it's just gonna like make them gloss over, right? It's like you don't get it unless you're in here, and if you're in here, it's for a reason. People don't get it. They really don't get it, do they? I mean, I had a friend of mine who knows me in real life and knows this account, right? I told him, listen, the night I was doing the Uncle Will stream, I said, I'm gonna, be on a stream, so I can't do X. And he said to me the next day, yeah, I tuned in there and I heard something about grocery baggers and some weirdo dude, and I don't follow it all. And frankly, I don't get it. He goes, but there were like 60, 70 people in that chat. It's like, and I was like, it's like trying to explain why a joke is funny. Trying to explain this community and what we're doing is like, it's like, trying to explain why a joke is funny. Even after you explain it, it's not funny. It's like, you can't do that, Oh shit, I've left Goose's YouTube page up for all this. Sorry, Goose. I only wanted to do that just to show your song that I was playing in the beginning. So let me take that down and put another comment up here. Kay says, oh, I've completely given up on explaining anything about this shit to anyone. Yeah, I know. It makes sense. It makes sense. If you got censored, I said it anyway. Oh, why did it go? To go away? Let's try it again. Don't go away. Okay, that was probably just me. I'm embarrassed talking about my real friends. Yeah, exactly. Like, people don't get this shit. People don't get this shit. But like, I guess where I'm coming from is I knew Triple T was full of shit. I knew his actions weren't cool. And that got me thinking about him. And that's why that is my, if you really want to know what my motivation is, Triple T, it's your own actions that motivated me to do this, right? That's it. Sincerely. You want to make me go away? You want to make this drama go away? Don't send Lori into my, my internet friends, Instagrams, and say to them, you should stop bullying Triple T or whatever because he has 4 purple hearts. If you want to get rid of this thing, here's my genuine advice to you, Triple T and Lori. Start a live up. Own what you did in 2015. Tell the fucking truth. I talked and had conversations with teenagers of a sexual fucking nature. Some were 18, some weren't. But that doesn't matter because it's inappropriate to do in the first place. I was their manager. They were the children of service members. I did not mean to do them harm. I did not mean to gratify myself. What I was trying to do was make a very silly YouTube, MTV pilot. I didn't go about it the right way. What I did was wrong. It was just wrong. Should have never done it. Should have never posted that shit to Twitter. Should have never posted that shit to my YouTube. It was wrong. Full stop. And I am sorry. Should have never done that. Don't double down. Don't try to fight it. Don't try to say, oh, they were 18, so it's okay. Don't do any of that. Just say, I'm wrong. And this will entirely go away. Not just from me, but from literally everyone in this community, because you owned it. You owned it. That's simple. It really is. Doesn't need to have live after live. You don't need to bring Sam Squatch out to talk about catching pedophiles and that you're not a pedophile because no one even accused you of that. You don't need to bring some dude out who won't say who he is, where he works for, why he's a credible source, but to say that I lied to everyone when you said you couldn't run it on Windows, even though it wasn't a lie and even though it doesn't matter. You don't have to do all this cleanup and damage control. People are going to respect you more when you admit your faults. When you admit your faults and own what you did, people are going to say, you know what? Good on them. We all make mistakes. Triple T made a mistake. He owned it and he apologized and said it was wrong. I apologize to those kids, those teens. Apologize for putting it on the internet and you guys cut me out. It wasn't right. I wasn't thinking properly. Just own it. Admit when you're wrong. And it isn't a weakness to admit when you're wrong. I would think that someone who is your age, 54, 53, who has achieved what he's achieved in the military would have the understanding to know that it isn't a weakness to admit when you're wrong. All right. Go on here. Anyone noticed disappearing comments? I get the notification when someone's comments or comment on my channel. Yeah, I've noticed that too. Apple Creek. Someone had left a comment on one of my shorts, and it was a positive comment, and I went to go look it up, and it was gone. YouTube Studio will sometimes show some of those. I am really sick of the censorship on YouTube. I hate that I can't leave a comment and then it gets fucking removed, or I have to go and check it with another account, my other Dan Redbeard account, to see if it actually left or not. It's so annoying. I'm probably going to end up utilizing my x.com account more. There's no community on there. We're all on YouTube. But honestly, I think YouTube has become very cancerous, just like fucking Facebook has. And I'm really liking the free speech element of x.com. Excuse me. That's to say, I have seen some weird algorithm censorship on x.com that you wouldn't think would be there. There's got to be a better solution. Rumble's pretty good, but damn, dude, unless you want to pay for Rumble, the ads will fucking kill you on Rumble, man. The ads are just... Let me play 6 ads before you watch this video on Rumble. And it's you can't skip past them. It's oh God, these ads are freaking horrible. I pay for YouTube Premium. And it's nearly 34 euro a month for the family one. And it's just a blackmail. It isn't I gain any value from paying that. It just means I don't have to watch those fucking ads. And God, I hate the ads. But Rumble, they're so much worse. They're really it's horrible. We need a better solution. I've had several comments deleted by YouTube, says Sherry. Yep, same. It's ridiculous. Adrienne says the same. Yeah, Trump. Hopefully, Trump will reverse the censorship. I don't know. I think the only way to get these platforms really under control is to treat them as a public utility under the FCC. So right now they're trying to say, oh, this is a private company. And it is a private company, but it's providing a public resource. So for example, your telephone lines, they're private companies, but they're providing a public resource. So there's FCC laws regulating them, federal communications laws regulating them. I think that's where we're at now. This is a public soapbox. I think that if the laws of free speech should be regulated on here and enforced by the government from the FCC. And I'm someone who's for smaller government, but I think that needs to happen on here because clearly these things are, these platforms are able to affect elections. I think honestly there should be FCC control that says this is a public utility. People are using it. Private companies operate them, but unless it's illegal, it shouldn't be censored. And there's some speech that is not protected under the United States Constitution, like yelling fire in a crowded theater, right? Or the stuff that we would like to see people, put to death for, like child pornography, etc. I'll get over here to the comments. Kay says Rumble ads are god awful. Yeah, I totally agree. And I use YouTube. Like I have a lot of, I don't even watch. I don't know about anybody else here, but I have TV. Don't get me wrong, TVs in the house, plural. I haven't turned them on in months or years at this point. Only time I turn on a TV is if I'm in the living room and I'm watching a film. And to be honest, most of the time I'm laying in my bed watching a movie on my laptop or tablet or smartphone, right? I don't even pay for TV channels anymore. I just use free to air or satellite stuff. And I don't even use it. I mean, mainly all my entertainment comes from YouTube. Yeah, like that and streaming. Rusty Truck makes a really good point. Rusty Truck says the censorship on these platforms is often initiated by the federal government. Yes, it's initiated by administrations in the White House, like they've been proven to do. You're absolutely right. Let me show that. Like when the Biden White House goes to Twitter or whomever and says, hey, we want you to censor this and that. And the companies do it. It's fucked. We need someone like I was saying, I think that the FCC should regulate YouTube because I believe it is and other social media platforms because they're now a public utility. Yeah, they can be operated by a private company, but the same laws, that affect other public utilities, right? You have to make them available. I think something needs to happen there because it's out of control. Sure, you says I never watch TV anymore. It's like a dinosaur. Absolutely. Rusty says K. I gave away our TVs in 2020. Haven't missed them yet. Be right back, folks. I'll put some YouTube up here. Hold on. And then I'll be right back. Biological concerns. I'm sure you guys understand. I need say no more. And I'm going to put this one. And I'm going to play it. And I'll be right back.
Means my girl is here. Hot up in the Jeep and she blows in my ear. Mean little grin comes across her face. She don't care where the time or place. She's got redneck style. She's got a redneck grace. My redneck girl with a pretty face. Her body beats all I've ever seen. A little devil inside my redneck queen. The way she moves, the way she talks, her fine ass and the way she walks, and yoga pants and cut off jeans. That's my girl, she's my redneck queen. Snatched in the front, if you know what I mean. Redneck style, redneck grace. That redneck girl makes my heart race. Redneck style, redneck grace. My redneck girl, yeah, she's all class. I can't keep myself from staring at her ass. grace. Her body beats all I've ever seen. A little
All right, I'm back. You guys need to check out Goose's channel if you don't have this music. I would remind everybody that I believe his album is out on iTunes today and Spotify and all those places. He'll be posting the whole album to his YouTube channel for streaming, but if you can purchase it, it'd be great, because then it shows that this album is selling, and then he's going to be able to get, some sort of numbers there to look at. I don't think he has the level of marketing this album deserves by any means. I think he's incredibly talented, Goose. These songs, like, you would have thought he paid for a lot of money for engineering, and it blows me away that he did all this on his MacBook. Like, the engineering and the quality of these recordings are fantastic. It's really impressive to me. From what I've heard of the album, I think there's a good 5 solid singles on there, which is impressive because a lot of times you don't even get one solid single on an album. Like, this stuff is fantastic. I'm really impressed with it. Snaggy says, Goose write this song about Melinda. I don't think so. I'm going to disagree with you there. Rusty's going live tonight. What time are you going live, Rusty? And what time zone is it? I'll probably be asleep, but I just want to let people know in case they don't know. They probably already know. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of change that's going to be coming to America, and I can't wait, because that change not only impacts America, a country of which I'm a citizen, but it impacts the world. We can already see that, not even being elected, Trump has gotten Mexico to say they're going to stop the caravans. They don't want those caravans to stop and have all those people from the other countries in South America now taking up root in Mexico. So they're going to stop them coming into Mexico, and Mexico's going to stop them from coming into America. And this is some huge problem that everyone needed to work on. There was no defined solution under the Biden administration, but all of a sudden, not even elected, Trump solves the problem. And I tell you what's really, scaring the shit out of me, and I'm really hoping it does not come to it. It seems to me that Biden administration, and I have to say administrations, I don't think that Biden is Copus Mentis. I think he's got dementia. It seems to me that there are people, deep state, people, CIA, what have you, that are really trying to push a war, a World War III. They're really trying to push America into a direct conflict with Russia. Why? Because there's a huge amount of money to be made. They don't care about the lives. Like Trump said about Liz Cheney, they don't have to face these troops themselves. They'll send young men off to die, young women off to die. They don't care about that. They care about the money. And I think there's a lot of money to be made in those conflicts, as we've seen. I mean, there is no benefit other than money to a small amount of people like BlackRock, etc., to get into a direct conflict with Russia, right? There's only a lot of death, For the Biden administration to say to Zelensky and the Ukrainians, you can use our long-range weapons, our long-range designed, warheads, missiles, etc., to fire into Russia, is appalling. It's absolutely appalling. And I'm critical of Putin as well. I lived in Russia. For those that don't know, my ex-wife is Russian. My children have Russian citizenship. I have essentially a Russian green card. I also have citizenship in the EU, as do my children, etc. Right? And for me, it's not something that's abstract. Having lived in Russia and knowing Russian people, first of all, we're lied to a lot in the European Union and in America as to who Putin is, right? America, news outlets, especially legacy media and the government, have you believe that Putin is a dictator and that Putin has taken power, blah, 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 blah. Putin is loved. Putin is loved very much by the Russian people. Does he have detractors? Oh, yeah, obviously. He runs a very tight ship. But he's taken Russia from being a country where female doctors had to strip in order to put food on the table, being completely economically devastated after the fall of communism, to a country now where most people not only own a home, but own two homes, one in the country and one in the city. They have a DACA in the country and an apartment in the city. They have nice cars. They're able to put their kids through education. You're able to have modern goods. Honestly, well, I don't want to get a tangent, but Putin is loved. And to say that, all the elections are fake and blah, blah, it's all bullshit, right? Putin would be, elected easily tomorrow. Okay. He has been in control in that country for a very long time, but it's been at the will of the Russian people. If they didn't want him to be leader, he wouldn't be leader. He'd be dead, right? And that's an important thing to know. He's taken them out of poverty. Okay. Now, another thing to know is that the people in the Donbass region, they're ethnically Russian. So essentially, to think of it, if you look at Ukraine, if you're looking at it on a map, right, the eastern part of the Ukraine, we'll say the eastern 1/3 is mostly ethnically Russian. Okay. These are people who speak Russian. And in fact, all of Ukraine speaks Russian. Very few people speak Ukrainian. Okay. These people, after the takeover of Crimea by Russia, and keep in mind, Crimea was taken over not only because it was ethnically Russian, because it was Russia's only warm water port, right? Other ports that Russia has access to the ocean would be frozen for like a majority of the year, like by Siberia. The Ukrainians have used Azov battalion, other, neo-Nazi battalions to torture and harass the people of the ethnic Russians in the Donbass region. Not only have they been bombing schools, kidnapping, raping women, assaulting people, they've been doing it for 10 fucking years, right? So look at when Crimea was annexed, and from that point on. So it was getting to a place where they tried to solve it politically. Putin, Belarus, Ukraine, all sat down and had a treaty in Minsk. And at that treaty, they said, these are the things we're going to do and what we're not going to do. Okay. That treaty was agreed to by Ukraine, and they ignored it. What most people in America don't know, and European don't know, is that Zelensky wasn't elected. He came to power in a coup. Okay. Zelensky is a dictator, right? He came to power in a coup where they ran the duly elected leader out, and he had a lot of support, but he didn't. And he's also said no free elections. We're at war right now. So Zelensky hasn't had to face an election ever. Okay, it's fucked. So we need to see both sides of this, right? I explained to Americans who grew up in the Cold War, who, like myself, were taught to go underneath our desks and go into bomb shelters, and that the huge evil was Russia, right? I've had to explain to them, how would you feel? What do they mean? I say, let's just say that Russia made silos, put in intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, in Toronto, Canada, pointed at the White House. Because that's what America has done. America has done it in several countries. All right. They've pointed these nuclear weapons right at Russia from their neighboring countries. Okay. If someone did that to America, it'd be all out war. If someone went up to Mexico, if Russia went into Mexico and pointed nuclear weapons at the United States, they'd be fucking pissed. So, should Russians not feel that way as well? Honestly, I'm really happy that Trump is going to be in there, because we're going to see peace in the Ukraine. We're going to see a deal that benefits everyone, where the ethnic Russians in the Ukraine are no longer, tortured and all these awful things happen to them. We're going to see Ukraine is just completely devastated. Completely devastated. Hopefully we'll be able to see that come back. And what's always blown me away was after growing up in America, but also living in Russia, we're so much alike, it's ridiculous. Now, in Ireland, you have lots of Irish people, mainly Irish people. In Germany, you have mainly German people. France, mainly French. In America, you have all sorts of ethnicities, nationalities, creeds, colors, religions. It's the same in Russia. People don't know this. You have Azerbaijanis. You have Kazakhs. You have Tatars. You have, excuse me, all of these different ethnicities in Russia. All right. And under communism, they had one of the things they outlawed religion was that different religions would be a source of conflict. So that's what the Soviets did. But anyway, I digress. America and Russia are more alike than they are separate. Geographically, we have the Grand Canyon in America. They have similar things in Russia, right? It's vast geographically, different, deserts, all that wonderful stuff, right? We have more in common with Russia than we do any other country on Earth, due specifically from the diversity of the people that live there, ethnically, etc., geographically. I personally, and I don't think it'll happen in my lifetime, but I would absolutely love to see Russia and America work as allies. I would love to see free trade between Russia and America. I would love to see that. But big money is being made on Russia being the enemy. Big money. Like, you can see it. Hillary Clinton is Secretary of State. Hillary Clinton did more to destabilize this planet than geopolitically than anyone before her. Like way worse than anyone in the Nixon administration. She people keep talking about the Arab Spring, right? It wasn't a spring. All it did was change leadership and lots of people died. And it didn't always go to plan. Excuse me, guys, my throat's going. But anyway, don't just initially buy what you're sold by anyone, whether it's Triple T or the news or whatever. Don't fucking take anything I say at face value. Go out there and do your due diligence. Keep in mind, if they're blocking Russia today from you, if they're blocking something from you to see in it, there's a reason why. And it's not because of quote unquote misinformation. How many times did we say over COVID, no, this is bullshit. It wasn't a fucking some dude, eating a bat in the soup in Wuhan. That this is clearly an engineered virus. And there's a big conspiracy. It turns out we're fucking right. It's common sense this was engineered and it got out. Whether it got out purposefully or accidentally is another thing. But hopefully with Trump back in office, we can start to have trust in our government again. Hopefully Trump can accomplish what he wants in these 2 years. I know the term is 4 years, but it's 2 years before there's another election for Congress. And he's got a House, a Senate, a SCOTUS, a Supreme Court, and of course himself in the White House to effect change. And what I remember vividly in 2016 was Republicans stopping Republicans from enacting change. Hopefully we can move past that. Hopefully there's more American first there. Putin and Trump do have respect for one another. Yeah, they absolutely do. And I think that's important. I don't think that any of these foreign nations respected Biden. They all thought that Biden was clearly out to lunch and dementia. And that's what they've seen. We've seen America taken advantage of. No president before him went into NATO and said, listen, if you guys don't pay your share, we're going to pull out of NATO. You're going to defend yourselves against Russia. What? What if we don't pay? Well, we're pulling out support. I remember when Trump was speaking at, it was either United Nations or NATO, it said, Germany, you have a problem. You're entirely too dependent on Russia for your energy. And the German delegation laughed. It's on YouTube. Well, look what happened. Germany's now in a proxy war with Russia, the people that provide them with all their energy. Absolutely absurd. Hey, Shady J, welcome. Calls her Killary. I agree. Just to remind everybody, Rusty Truck is going to be having a live tonight. I highly recommend that you guys check it out. It's at 9 p.m. But I don't want to steer anybody wrong, so I'm trying to find it. I believe it's 9 p.m. Eastern. It would be a, what would you say? An absolute travesty if I didn't get to watch it in the replay. I love Rusty stuff. I really do. In fact, AD says I want to be Rusty. And it's so true. I want to crawl inside Rusty's skin. I believe it's 9 p.m. Eastern time. Let me just see if I can find the comment here because I was on a tangent. I got into a tangent and got my pants all excited. And I forgot where he put it there. Hold on. Adrian, yeah, I'm Adrian. I am hoping that Putin does. He seems like he's restraining himself. 9 p.m. Eastern. Let's go ahead and put that up there. Yeah, I'm hoping that. It seems to me like they're really trying to push. Thank you, Kay, for posting the link to Rusty's live. You guys want to open that up? Have it ready. I'll be asleep by then. I'll have to catch him on the replay. But yeah, I do think they're trying to really push him. Like, for example, Putin retaliated. But he didn't retaliate with nuclear weapons on Ukraine. And I am very surprised because they're really trying to paint in these next few weeks Putin into a corner. They're desperately trying to do it. I think Putin's smart enough not to be played like that. But he's got a problem. Like they keep painting him into a corner. Keep in mind, I believe it was either 9 or 12 people killed in Russia. You know, my ex and one of my daughters lives in Russia. You know, when they leave, they have U.S. citizenship, but for them to come to Ireland or any other country in the EU, they have to fly through Turkey first. But it makes me, you know, they live deep into Russia, thank God. But it makes me very nervous, right? I'm very, very, very ready for peace. I'm sure we all are. Okay. Apple Creek says I got 2 alarms set. She's not fucking around, man. Apple Creek's in the same time zone as I am. And it's like 10 p.m. here, and I'm already getting tired. I don't know how the heck she does it. Hey, Brandy Day, welcome. Good to see you again. Hope everything went right with the storm. Excuse me, the store. Speaking of Russian movies, damn it. That's like one of the things that sucks about getting older is you don't have immediate recall with your memory, and you have to like jog your memory to remember stuff. So like now I'm going to search for one of the actors in the film, but it's a really great film from the 1980s that takes place in Russia, though. I think it was shot in Finland because, you know, Soviets, communism, and the whole, you know, you're not going to come in here and film a movie thing. I'm so silly because I'm actually a fan of this movie. I've seen it like 3 times, but I recommend you guys watch it because this is like a really good movie. And then it sucks that I'm not remembering it, but I'm looking at IMDb right now for the title. Okay, let's go to the 80s. Gorky Park, Gorky Park, Gorky Park. Really good movie with William Hurt. See if I play a trailer. How about that? And then I'll get the fuck out of here. I need the Jamie. Like Joe Rogan has a Jamie. Jamie, pull that up. But I wasn't able to find this on like the Pirate Bay or any streaming services. Maybe you'll have better luck. I had to actually get the DVD. So let me go ahead and share this here. Well, I won't just take a freaking. How about I turn the sound?
Mystery. In Moscow. In Russia, a land of mystery. In Moscow, a city of secrecy. There was one place of peace and safety. A place where an American has been murdered. A place called Gorky Park.
Look, no face. Sliced right off.
Bodies carved up in the middle of Moscow. Who knows where it could lead?
The answers lie somewhere between what is said.
It is more than possible that KGB killed those 3 people.
And what is done.
I didn't kill him.
It doesn't make any difference who pulled the trigger, but you're the one that's going to pay for it.
Between what is known.
I have established that you knew all 3 of them.
But what are we talking about?
Dead bodies in Gorky Park.
And what is hidden.
Either you are with them, in which case it doesn't matter where I run.
You'll be trapped here. They saw me last night.
Between those who enforce the law.
Saving a life. Whose? Mine.
And those who are above it.
Corruption is part of us. The very heart of us.
Between the lies that are told.
Irina, I love you.
I've learned to trust nothing.
And the truth that lies buried in Gorky Park.
My friend is dead. Your friends are dead. Why delude yourself? Why?
Now, from the spellbinding international bestseller comes an electrifying motion picture.
I've been dealing the whole time. So now they'll deal with me.
He doesn't know who to trust.
Please, you don't want this case.
Where to turn.
I have to have a witness. Someone must tell me.
Or what might happen if he gets too close to the truth.
You should be looked after. Certainly you should be looked after.
Orion Pictures presents William Hurt, Lee Marvin, Joanna Pakula, Brian Dennehy, Gorky Park.
Fucking Brian Dennehy was the shit. One of the greatest actors ever. I love him. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, it was a really good movie. The trailer, not so great. Movie was actually really good. I was really riveted by it. It was a great movie. I've seen it like 3 times. It's one of my favorites. But no, Rusty Truck here says at a certain age, your memory becomes a series of cross-referencing things you forgot. Exactly. Very well put. That's exactly what's going on here in my brain. Oh my God. Dude, that guy who's the narrator, he got like all the work in the 80s. In a world where one man is blind and another man can't see. We should get that guy out here. I'm going to start doing an impression of him. There is a man called AD who has no dick. In a world where Rusty Truck goes live at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on YouTube. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you all. This was a good hangout. Fantastic. And I want you guys to have a great evening. And please check out Rusty's live at 9 p.m. And I am going to go to bed. It's late, but I will catch the replay. Have a wonderful tomorrow if I don't talk to you all. And thank you all for joining. I appreciate you. Have a great evening, internet friends. Thank you so much. Goodbye.